So if you're looking to get out and about this weekend, there is a pop-up dining and art experience coming to Holyoke.
And Jeremy Keene and Brendan Sieco are here to tell us about this night of art and entertainment.
Gentlemen, how you doing?
Good.
It's good to have you here.
Good to be here.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Pop-up restaurant. It's something that we're not really familiar with out here in Western Mass, so tell us all about it.
Absolutely. So a pop-up restaurant is a temporary restaurant installation. It can be one night, it can be a week, and it gives chefs the ability to be more innovative, try things out, and use a variety of unusual or atypical spaces.
So it's there and then it's gone a couple days later.
Yeah.
So you want to get there while it's
the
there.
memory lives on forever, though. I'm telling you, with these guys cooking.
Well, that's the thing, and you're a chef and you're from Boston, though, and this is one of the best culinary cities in the world.
One of them, yes.
And you work at Whisk, so what are you going to be whisking up for us today?
Well, today we're going to do a dish from this pop-up here in Holyoke, and it is very, very simple. A cold dish. It's a vegetable verrine.
What is a verrine?
Well, a verrine is just layers of vegetables.
Oh, that sounds healthy
It's a
and delicious.
fancy way to say layering of vegetables. So how do we get started?
So what we would start doing is we would turn our pan on here, a little bit of olive oil.
As always.
Yep. We like to do our Brussels sprouts to order. And what I mean by that is they're part of the verine, but we like them nice and crispy and seared and a little bit warm. They'll be
Seared
crunchy,
Brussels
a little
sprouts.
cool on the inside, but nice and crispy and warm on the
Like a
outside.
party in your mouth. Crunchy, cool, warm, it's everything.
Much like a party in your
And
mouth.
it's almost the same thing as a party in your mouth. Now, you're using both olive oil and butter,
I
right?
use olive oil and a little bit of butter, as butter is the universal browning agent.
There we are. And these Brussels sprouts, they look like they're already pre-cooked somehow.
They have been quickly blanched.
And that's like a quick
That's,
boil,
you know,
right?
yeah, quick boil into ice water to stop the cooking, or shock, as we say.
All right. So
So
we're
we'll
just going to throw a
take a
couple
couple
Brussels sprouts
in.
in there?
Throw a couple
Our butter's
shocked
nice and
Brussels
brown.
sprouts in there.
Now, Brendan, while we're starting this flavor party in our mouths, tell us a little bit the date, the time, what we can expect to see this weekend.
Yep. So deposit pop-up starts today at 6 o'clock in the evening, and we'll also have a second seating tomorrow night, Saturday, at 6 o'clock. And both events have actually sold out. You know,
Well,
this
then
is-
everyone is out of luck, but maybe if you
Maybe
stand
there might
outside.
be, if you really, really want to come and you show up at the door, we're not going to turn you away.
Well, then
Oh,
make a
that's nice
line.
of
So
you.
come on over. Say Mass Appeal sent you. We'll treat you well.
All right, then good.
So you can still get this yummy food.
Yep, and
Never fear.
we have some art, we have some music, we have some film, and it's in a landmark bank building from the 1920s. Easily one of the most beautiful buildings in the region.
It's so nice to be able to bring, you know, the restaurant scene out and to expose people to different buildings and different cultures and pieces of art.
Absolutely.
What's some of the art that's going to be there?
So we have art from Amy Johnquist. She's a Holyoke-based artist that does sideshow banners, sign painting, and just has these incredible, whimsical, ironic banners throughout the space. And we actually also have Rob Kimmel, a former Brooklynite, moved to the Valley, and we're showcasing some of his works on paper.
Great.
Yeah.
And so it will be a night full of art and food. What have you?
Totally.
What are you going to do now after you've cooked these
Well,
Brussels
I
sprouts?
just want to show you guys one of the most important steps to this dish.
Now I see some eggplant.
You'll need your eggplant, and you'll need your mandolin.
And would you say a mandolin's one of those things that everyone needs to get in their kitchen?
If you like cooking at home and you like experimenting with different foods, I would say get a mandolin.
All right.
It opens up a world of options.
It's sharp though, so kids, don't play with a mandolin.
You gotta
Don't
be
play with your
careful
parents'
with the
mandolin. Okay?
mandolin.
Yeah.
So you'll slice your eggplant in.
Oh, I didn't slice it that way. I figured you'd slice it the other
that's
way.
exactly what
right?
I
Yeah,
was
you need them
thinking.
nice and long because they're gonna kind of fortify your terrine. So nice and thin,
All right.
like so.
And then from there, how do you cook them?
You want to go a little bit of salt, always salt,
Okay.
probably the most important.
Because it brings out the flavor of something and it draws out some moisture, right?
That's right.
All right.
Seth knows his stuff.
I've spent a good amount of time in
Yeah,
kitchen.
the man knows. A little bit of olive oil.
And so we're going to pop these in the oven for a little bit, is
We're
that
gonna
right?
pop them in the oven, and then when we come back, you'll see them nice and cooked. Not too long, maybe 5 minutes at 350 at the very most.
All right, perfect. So how about
right.
this? You keep working. We're going to continue on with the show, and we'll wrap this up in a little bit, so don't you go anywhere. Welcome back to Mass Appeal, and we are back in the kitchen with Jeremy Keene and Brendan Sieco. They're here to tell us more about a night of art and entertainment and to make some, what is it, vegetable verine?
That's right.
Which is pretty much a fancy vegetable stack, right? healthy, fun, exciting. Now, Brendan, while we start this, tell us a little bit about this event in case people missed it and how they can get involved.
So on Friday and Saturday night, we're having a pop-up restaurant by Deposit, called Deposit in downtown Holyoke. Friday, Saturday, chefs from Boston, some great cuisine, art, music, film, in one of the most beautiful spaces in the region.
It's a rarity, but pop-up restaurants, I think they're the wave of the future, and they are pretty cool and hip. Speaking of hip, let's make this vegetable verrine. So,
All right, guys, so.
we have the eggplant that was in the oven.
Yep, we cooked our eggplant, as you guys saw before, and that's the first step, is to layer right in the bottom of your mold.
And these molds, can people get them at
You can get them at Charlotte or
like a
any
big kitchen store? Okay.
That's right. So you layer your bottom.
Now, is there any rhyme or reason to this, or are you trying to get the whole bottom cupped, right?
We're trying to encapsule.
Gotcha. All right,
verine.
that's a better word.
This is what's going to hold it. The eggplant is our vessel.
Gotcha. All right. And then from here, what's next?
The first thing, we have our roasted purple top turnips.
And now that's something, if people want to make that on their own, just make some turnips, cut them
You
up,
dice them real small. They don't have to be beautiful. A little bit of olive oil, salt.
throw them in the oven.
So they're nice and soft with a little bit of color. I'd say 375 is where I do
All
it.
right.
So you start with those. Then we have a sunchoke puree, which is a Jerusalem artichoke. Gets peeled, gets cut, slowly simmered in a little bit of milk and cream, and then just throw it right in your blender, and that's gonna kind of hold us together in here.
So this is the reason to go to something like the pop-up, because you're not making that at home. I mean, you could, but I mean, it seems a little tricky. But all these other things you can make, but the verine is more or less just a stack. So if you have different vegetables at home, you can make a verine with other vegetables too, right?
Yep. It is limitless. So then we have a little bit of oven roasted baby shiitakes. And we'll finish it with one of our seared Brussels sprouts that you saw before. Then you want to bring the eggplants over, give them a little press, the next two over, little press, and what you should have is a perfect vegetable verine.
Oh, that is pretty cool looking.
We then have our pickled carrots from a local farm in Holyoke. Brendan, remind me of the name.
Nueces Rices, that's some community farming
Yeah.
action, keeping it local.
Good for you folks.
Yep, and then you got your baby carrots, a couple
Brussels sprout leaves.
butter-seared Brussels sprout leaves.
Look at that
and
plating.
there you have it. So
Looks
that-
great. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by
you.
today. This is going to be a fun, hip event, and don't miss it. It's coming up this weekend in Holyoke.
Thanks for everything.
Thank